Let's take you back to KwaZulu-Natal. 5 men accused of murdering rapper Kiernan, AKA-Forbes, and his friend Tebello AKA-Tibz Murder back in the Durban Magistrates court today. Watching those developments is our reporter Jade Paulse, who joins us now live from inside court. And Jade, you were explaining a short while ago just what took place earlier, at least back in May, when the accused were denied bail.
Welcome back to Durban, Ayanda. Yes, as I was saying earlier on, that it was a culmination of the state putting forward their case, saying that they have a watertight case, they are going to go to trial, and that their case is strong. However, we did hear in the last court proceedings that the state needed about 4 months prior to wrap up their case. So it remains to be seen whether they have indeed wrapped it up. We do know that the 5 accused have been denied bail. It's going to remain to be seen whether they're going to be bringing or lodging papers today. But to talk more about where we are in terms of the case, the extradition process, you do know that the Ndabande brothers are still in Eswatini. I am joined by our legal expert, AKA-Tibz Gwabeni. Thank you so much for joining us, Abigail. It's been a few months now, a stop-start affair. We did see the 5 accused being denied bail. Today we are expecting more papers to be lodged and a possible postponement for a trial date or a pre-trial conference.
Yes, remember that last time when we were here, there was some revelations by the state to say they need something like 4 to 5 months to complete the investigations. So that's what we want to hear today, on whether or not they have made progress on the outstanding issues and to tighten the matter for them to also be able to be ready to proceed to trial. But of course, you remember that these are some of the things that were worrisome to say. At the time when the story broke, everybody was convinced that the matter is almost ripe for trial. We should be seeing a pre-trial happening, but we are still in the magistrate court. We are hopeful that they are doing that, and we'll see this matter being transferred to the High Court in no time.
You know, when I spoke to some of the magistrates and also some of the state prosecutors, they did make mention that the fact that investigating officers are still investigating, that possibly more people could be arrested. We did hear big names being dropped in the last court appearance, the Xaba brothers, Mfundo Xaba, and his links to the mastermind, Gwabeni. It's relatively been quiet, and I'm sure many people back at home want to know, will there possibly be more arrests pending on the cards?
Yeah, I think that cannot be ruled out. Remember that the last time when they spoke about the issue of the 800,000, the mastermind who was standing for bail last time was particular in his responding affidavit to say the 800,000 was paid particularly for a business transaction. Now it's upon the investigating officer and the team to go and verify those on whether the channels, the payment of that money, was it really related to the business, or was it as in support of the money laundering charges that are part of the charge sheet. And if that is the case, we may be seeing more arrests, but that cannot be something that we can preempt. We'll just have to hear what the state has to say and how far they have gone with the investigation, which they are likely to reveal that, to say, telling the court to say how much they have done, how much investigation is left, how much they were able to collect so far.
And staying with Gwabeni, he is said to be the alleged mastermind. However, unlike his other co-accused, he doesn't have any other pending charges against him. One would think that he possibly would have gotten bail, but looking at some of the merits and some of the information that the state has presented this case, they're saying that he orchestrated this entire, murder plot. Talk to us about the possibility of them applying for bail or lodging papers.
The court, there is a possibility, and we have heard it's just that it's subject to confirmation by the authorities to say there was a bail appeal that was heard in respect of the mastermind. But you remember that the Criminal Procedure Act is particular to say if any of the factors that are listed in that the Criminal Procedure Act, I think is subsection 4 of section 60, to say if any of those is available, any person cannot be eligible for bail. And the court was particular to say the issue of the witness statements that we find in the cable holder vehicle that was driven by him, and also the court, the evidence is placing him in various scenes of crime, starting from the airport is placed there, passing the toll gate, minutes after the deceased passed, and it's also placing him in the vicinity of the area of the scene of crime. And that in itself shows that there was a common purpose in orchestrating these particular offenses, and those, of course, played a pivotal role in the court denying him bail. Those are the factors that even if they were to go and appeal, the judge there will be seized with a decision to make on whether or not this court erred in arriving at the particular decision that it took. But from where I'm sitting, there are no circumstances that may be different from what this court considered to give him bail.
And then we also have the issue of the extradition of the Ndamande brothers, who is in Eswatini. My colleague Hlatswayo has been covering that for us blow by blow. That's also been a stop-start affair, just in terms of linking the two cases together, because I imagine when they do get extradited, they will join these 5 accused.
You remember that it has always been a cry to say the extradition is likely to take some time. But we are happy and confident that now that the matter was argued at Eswatini, I'm told that on the 16th of August this month, the matter will receive a judgment on whether or not they're extradited. They'll then have some little bit of time to appeal that particular judgment, which if they don't appeal, we should be seeing those ones coming back. And any prosecution would want to amalgamate, combine all the accused person to start the trial in one leg. You wouldn't want to say an opportunity where a trial is being separated and others are tried separately, because that means in an issue such as ballistics, there's a firearm involved here, ballistic experts being called. You don't want them to be called twice to come and testify against the 2, testify against the 5. So the better way will be to wait, which of course we are confident that if we are waiting for judgment at this stage, surely the extradition process was swifter than we expected.
Abigail, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. That was our legal expert, Abigail Gwabeni, just talking to us about the possibilities of more court papers being lodged today, Ayanda, but also speaking about the extradition process of the Ndamande brothers who are in Eswatini. It remains to be seen whether a pre-trial conference date will be set today, or whether the defense will be lodging more papers to try and get the mastermind and Gwabeni bail, as you heard there. It's back to you in studio.
All right, Jade Paulse, thanks very much indeed. As soon as proceedings begin, of course, we'll be live inside court for you. But for now, Jade Paulse, our reporter from the inside the Durban Magistrates Court. Once again, appreciate that reportage.